Up next, we have Education and Childcare, and to kick us off is Scott Poloff with the Big Sky Discovery Academy, a nonprofit which was established in 2014, serving and governed by a board of 4 directors. Discovery is the first and currently the only private Montessori-based pre-K and elementary, middle, and high school in Big Sky, Montana. The school is affiliated with and devoted to the mission, philosophy, and code of ethics of the American Montessori Society. Discovery strives to endow its students with a lifelong love of learning while fostering the social awareness that is necessary to live healthy, productive lives by using the Montessori philosophy. Multi-age classrooms, individualized learning pathways, place-based and community-connected lessons, and mastery approach to learning and progression. Kick us off, Scott.
Thanks, Danny. And I'd like to thank Danny and Resort Tax, I know Sarah's here as well, for giving us this forum to really talk about education. And I just recently got here in Big Sky in April, and it's been our vision since we got here is to provide all families of Big Sky and the Gallatin area with different options for education. We know that education has become more individualized, and so by offering a Montessori approach, it gives our parents an option to find the system that best works for their child to be successful. So things about our school is that we are an independent private nonprofit school. Our staff are full-time teachers, they are salaried. This year we made the shift. All of our students do come to school full-time, 5 days a week, starting at the age of 3. The reason for that is because there is a lot of research that shows that repetition and routine for children starting at the age of 3 are not only healthy for the child, but it is more healthy for the family. Kids are exposed to more language, but parents are also able to provide a more consistent routine, which then allows their child to be more successful. We do run a summer school program. This year alone, we ran, I believe, 9 weeks of summer programming for not only our families, but also families within the Big Sky community. One of the things that we've changed up this year is that all of our parents do receive weekly progress reports, regardless of the age of their child, that tells them exactly where their child is in their individualized learning plan. As Danny had said, we do use the Montessori philosophy. If you're not familiar with what that is, kids are based in age group bubbles of 3. So they each go kind of through that experience of being the youngest, being the middle, and being the oldest. And so in those scenarios within the classroom, they get to experience things year to year that might be the same, but it changes based on their age group within that classroom. The other thing that it allows students to do is that they can learn at their own pace. So if a student is first grade and they're reading on the same grade as a 3rd grade student, they can sit and read with that child that's in grade 3. Vice versa, if we have kids that need some skills to go down and they need a little bit of more reinforcement, they have classmates in their class that they can do that with as well. We are staffed right now based in ratio. We have an 8-to-1 ratio in our early childhood classroom and 10-to-1 ratio in our elementary classroom. So that means at any point in time you're in the building, we have at least 2 to 3 adults with our kids at all time. Our students at the high school level, Our students at the high school level, some people say, what does a 3-year bubble look like for our high school kids? Our high school kids have their own individualized learning paths, which means when they come to school, they have a monthly map or a monthly calendar for all their courses, and it maps out exactly what they're to be doing every single day. Our kids graduate, our seniors graduate a half a year early. This year we have our first ever student who will graduate an entire year early because they're able to take classes throughout the summer, which then allows them the availability to have a flexible schedule, whether it's work, whether it's to ski, or whether that is to travel. So finally, we're a school, and obviously I didn't proofread this as an educator, so I will take that one, but just very quickly. As a private school, we get a lot of, how can I afford this? 17% of our current student tuition is covered through, whether that is donations, whether that is scholarship funding. What does that account to this year? This year, Discovery Academy will give out $119,000 to families in Big Sky for their children to be able to participate. And that is made possible through organizations like YCCF, Spanish Peace Community Foundation, Resort Tax, Moonlight, if those people were not generous and able to help us, if it wasn't from some of our parents, we wouldn't be able to provide that. But that is one of the great things about Big Sky, is that we take care of our own. And so to those, if you're here and you're involved in those organizations, on behalf of the board of directors and myself, we'd like to thank you for your generosity. And please know that of the 17% of student tuition, that comes out to 23 of our students are receiving, 23 of the 60 students we have right now are receiving financial assistance. So again, thank you. We are the little school behind the moose. People don't know where we are either. If you ever want more information, please feel free to stop by. And I'd like to thank Mario and Dr. Shipman, who are both here too. They have been a great support, not only for me, but for the school, and working with them to try to make sure that we are meeting the needs of all of our families. So I do want to thank them as well.
Next up, we have Dr. Shipman with the Big Sky School District, a special purpose district established in 1912. Holy smokes. You're governed by a board of 5 locally elected directors, and you are a K through 12 public school in Big Sky, serving 410 students from kindergarten through 12th grade. Turn it over to Dr. Shipman.
Thanks, Danny. So, Big Sky School District, as Danny said, we've been in existence for over 100 years. Currently, we're a consolidated K-12 public school in the state of Montana. Up through 2020 or 2009, the school district was an independent K school district in the state of Montana. High school students at that time attended and matriculated to Bozeman High School. This year, our high school is celebrating its 12th birthday, and we're going to be graduating our 12th class of seniors. Our mission and vision, I thought it was going to be up there. It's right there. There it is. This is really, it's stated and displayed here, is really rooted in the philosophy and mission of the International Baccalaureate program, of which the school district is an authorized IB World School. We're currently the only school district of our size in the state of Montana authorized to offer the IB Diploma Program and the IB Primary Years Program, and we'll have authorization for the IB Middle Years Program in the spring of 2023. So just, very briefly, some data behind the IB Diploma Program. Last year, we graduated 25 seniors. 15 of those students received a full IB diploma. In the rest of the state of Montana, there were 4 IB diplomas awarded. Slide 2. Okay, strategic planning. I see some people in the room who are on our strategic planning steering committee. So we work really closely with an international consultant who knows our school district very well. And he's coming back to Big Sky actually Thursday and Friday of this week to work with the steering committee to set the context for the next 5 years of the school district as we continue to grow. And it was through this exact same process with this exact same consultant in 2015 that led the district to where we are today, to seek IB authorization for our schools. And again, since that time, we've had successful exam results in our school community. We continue to place students in the top 30 post-secondary universities in the world. So he was here a couple weeks ago. We met with a number of people in this room, as well as did some surveys of our constituents. And the data that he collected through these meetings and through the survey points to a need for us to really kind of expand our programming to meet the needs of today's student, especially coming out of the pandemic. And I'll talk about that in the last slide. Next. So according to our recent census in Big Sky, we're serving 410 students. That's 14% of the population of Big Sky. And as we look historically, in 5-year increments since 2006, the 2006-2007 school year had 170 students. 5 years later, 2011, 2012, 228, 2016, 2017, 362 students, into our current count of 410 students. Our high school is currently 110 students. We have 16 seniors and 40 8th graders, so we look to see a shift of about 24 at our high school next year. We have 60 employees, a monthly payroll of approximately $350,000, and a budget of $7.7 million. And lastly, on our campus, we're down canyon, 30 acres. We currently have 2 facilities. One houses our K-5 students and one houses our 6 to 12 students, approximately 27,000 square feet. In those facilities, we have 2 full-size gyms, science labs, 2 full libraries, including the community library, who you'll hear from later, via Danny and Danielle. The Warren Miller Performing Arts Center, John Zirkle's crew, and 2 full-service cafeterias. Additionally, on our campus, through partnering with Habitat for Humanity and Laura Safring's group, Big Sky Housing Trust, we have 2 triplexes for employees to live in. Just finished and moved into the second one less than 10 days ago. And we're in the middle of a $23.5 million campus expansion, which includes phase 1, which is finishing this week, which is an outdoor outdoor athletic facility, including artificial turf and an all-weather track. Phase 2 expansion is going to include facility for a career and tech ed center and indoor facilities and expanded gym space for a capacity of 1,000 people. Phase 1 is completed and phase 2 is targeting completion in August 2023. Yes!
You made it. Thanks for all you do to make Big Sky better together. Next up, we've got Mariel Bouton with the Morning Star Learning Center, a nonprofit which was established in 2006 that is governed by a board of directors of 8. Morning Star is Big Sky's only full-time, year-round, state-licensed daycare and early learning center that serves children ages 6 months through 6 years old. They strive to provide an enriching environment where families and children are excited to belong, learn, and grow.
Thanks, Danny and Resort Tax and everybody who came together to make this event possible. You guys know about Morningstar, so I really want to focus on the ways that Morningstar has been making some program improvements lately and some really exciting things that we have going on. Starting with curriculum and staff development, we've been putting a lot of investments into making some improvements there, both inside the building and outside, to make sure that all of the kids who attend our center have a really amazing learning experience. For a lot of the kids in Big Sky, this is their first introduction to education and the social emotional learning that takes place, as well as the academic learning, and they're learning about their bodies and mobility. There's just a lot of really exciting stuff going on, and so I want to thank all of the community partners who are here and those who are not here this evening who have helped to make some of these investments and the improvements that we're making in our building. Last year, with the help of Resort Tax and a lot of our community foundations here tonight, we started our first ever needs-based tuition assistance program. And I'm so excited about this for 2 main reasons. It really targets our funds to be able to help the families who need it most to be able to utilize our services. And that's just really important to me and I think our board and everybody here. The other thing that we're seeing, and it was one of the goals of the program, if you can't afford a service, you're probably not going to use it. Something like childcare is such a critical infrastructure need in Big Sky for our economy, but also for the children to be able to benefit. As Scott said, having consistent learning is such a critical thing for children of any age, but particularly when they're starting out. And we have seen since we started this program that families who are receiving tuition assistance from this program have increased their enrollment an average of almost 1 full day per week, and I hope to see that continue to grow. And that's a really big deal for us. Staffing, I don't want to spend too much time here because I feel like everybody is pretty familiar with what's going on here. We made a huge investment, thanks to our community partners, in paying our teachers equitable wages here in Big Sky. There's a lot, it's a really complex picture of what that means. Sorry, I'm stumbling a little bit because it's very complex. It's hard to pay any staff here enough to actually live here. So as you heard from other partners throughout the evening, 80% of the workforce in Big Sky is commuting from other areas. Nonprofit work is hard enough, as you all know. Childcare work is hard enough, as you all know, so to be able to have a compelling argument of like why you should work at Morningstar and why you should support this organization that's such a critical component of the community of Big Sky, we are very short-staffed, and I'm sure if we were like doing a hand raise poll, everybody here would say the same thing of like, yes, we're hiring, please send us good people. We're in that boat too, and for us to be able to have quality people directly impacts the quality of services that we're able to provide our like babies here in Big Sky. So it's something that's really important to us and is definitely the biggest challenge that we're facing at this time. The last thing that I want to say, Morningstar, and it's in our mission, but we make Big Sky a better place in 3 main ways. We provide children a caring and enriching educational environment that inspires them and sets them up for success in K-12 and beyond. We provide parents with reliable childcare that enables them to pursue their personal and professional goals, which also, of course, impacts the overall community of Big Sky. And that's the third point. We bolster the local economy by making it possible for people to live, work, and play in Big Sky. And so the way that relates to the staffing challenge is, we're a state licensed facility, and not just because we're state licensed, but because of the quality of education we want to provide, we need to have enough adults to be able to provide enough kids that quality experience. And so I'm sure that that's a crunch everybody else is feeling, but that's something we're thinking a lot about these days. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you to all the partners who are here and for putting this on. And I will make room for the last category of the night.
Thanks very much. Thank you for all your